Aloha class, I wanted to give you some guidance for exercise 8-24 in the book on page 430. So exercise 8-24 deals with inventory errors using the periodic method, and I want to just do number 1 and number 2 in this video. And so 1, ending inventory is overstated but purchases and related accounts payable are recorded correctly. So this could happen especially in a periodic inventory system. Maybe we're counting inventory that's not really ours on consignment, and when they do the year-end inventory count for ending inventory, that's all we count, and sometimes we can miscount it and overstate our ending inventory when it's not really ours. Things like that, even though we correctly recorded all the accounts payable and the inventory purchases using the periodic system. So the best thing that I would suggest to do is to use sample numbers. Put in some sample numbers, very, very simple numbers, and see how these numbers will affect your balance sheet and your income statement. Sometimes it's easy to just be like, overstated, so inventory's overstated and income's overstated, and sometimes they do make logical sense like that, but sometimes they don't. And so just really writing out the numbers, looking at the ratios, and seeing how they compare is helpful for me and hopefully helpful for you. Oh, sorry, I was going to put in some sample numbers here. So just say, for example, this is 0 and 7 and 5 and 2. So these are correct numbers. Assume these are correct numbers that I give you. Cash, inventory, cash is 10, inventory is 5, short-term liabilities 10, equity 5, right? Assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity, and so we're in balance here. These are correct, but all of a sudden you have this misstatement, and now we have overstated our inventory. And let's just say we overstated it by 1, and so we've put that we have an inventory of 6 and cash of 10, and yes, we are out of balance, but somehow we made this work, and so our inventory is 6. And so when we look at a current ratio, we would say current assets over current liabilities, right? So if this was correct, we would have 15 cash and inventory, $15 over liabilities of 10. So our current ratio would be 1.5. But we have overstated our inventory, and so we've said that the current assets are misstated and are at 16. And then we have 10 short-term liabilities, so current assets over current liabilities. And so we have said that our current ratio is 1.6, when really the correct numbers, since we've overstated our inventory, the correct numbers are really 1.5 current ratio. We have overstated our current ratio. When we look at working capital, the correct numbers would be 15 in assets minus current liabilities, 10, the correct working capital ratio, working capital, no ratio here, would be 5. When now that we've misstated our inventory, we have said that it's 16 minus 10, and so we have also overstated, since we said working capital is 6 when it's really 5. We've also overstated our working capital calculation. So this affects our balance sheet, and let's go to our income statement. So this is correct, assuming this is correct. And we have overstated our ending inventory. They said there wasn't any issues with purchases, but now we've overstated our ending inventory. So instead of 5, which is correct, we are saying there's 6. So one more ending inventory when it's really not correct. And so 0 plus 7 minus 5 equals 2. 0 plus 7 minus 6 would be 1. Cost of goods sold should have been 2, when we overstate our inventory, cost of goods sold is 1. Cost of goods sold understated. And when cost of goods sold is understated, let's say this is, correct numbers in here. Net income would be 3. So sales would be correct. Our cost of goods sold is understated, right? So we put it as 1 when it really should have been 2. and our net income would be overstated here. It really should have been $3 in net income, and with this understated cost of goods sold, our net income is $4 and it's overstated. And if the net income is overstated in this year, our retained earnings was 5, I believe, from up here, and we're saying that this 0 contributed capital contributions and 5 retained earnings over here. So we'll put 5 here. 5 retained earnings, our net income, it should have been $3, but with this misstatement now it's $4. We have no dividends. So ending retaining earnings should have been $8, but we made that misstatement and now it is $9. So hopefully you can see that that dash in between is, what should it have been, and with this misstatement of ending inventory, what we've made it become, and what really is wrong. It really is wrong, and the change from the right number to the wrong number. And so our ending retained earnings is also overstated here. And so if we look at part 2, both ending inventory and purchases and related accounts payable are understated. And maybe I'll make a new video for this